don't know a nigga like myself. I say self-made, meaning I design myself. County jail fade, you can pull my file yourself. Spot rage, swallow rocks, I'm getting high.
Okay, so we are halfway into the hair cutting module of cosmetology school, and I feel like there has been so much that has been going on in terms of just being on a self-evolution journey of setting apart where I'm no longer being in spaces where I'm not celebrated. And that's my motto. Like, if I'm not celebrated, I'm removing myself. If I'm not being respected, I'm removing myself. So a big part of where I left off earlier in the month of December, I was dealing with the anniversary, and I feel like it always hits during the holiday season, dealing with the death of my grandmother in 2019, and that still affects me to this day, of having to relive and remember her death and trying to realize that grief is not something that just goes away, but you just live with it. So I really want to shine a light on being able to still continue to push forward, even when you have days where you feel like, I don't want to be bothered. Everything is getting on my nerves. People are getting on my nerves. And some days you just need your self-care days. So I implement Fridays and Saturdays to my self-care days. I take a warm bubble bath. Everything has to be hot. Like, I love my bathtubs to be hot. You gotta have Dr. Till's Essence salt, turn the lights off, candle, music, whatever, just to open yourself up and just relax. And a lot of times we are always on go mode and we don't think about the small little things that matter the most. So I don't want to just spend my whole entire life getting myself together. I want to enjoy everything. I want to smell the flowers. I want to look at the sky and admire how beautiful it looks. So I have to remind myself sometimes to show gratitude. So like, I have a motion when I wake up in the morning, I set the tone by listening to positive music in the morning and not listening to anything that requires like cursing or anything about fighting, anything negative, violence. I don't listen to that because I don't want that energy to influence my morning, and I just show gratitude. I'm proud of everything that I have accomplished so far, and just getting out of my comfort zone, but I'm still trying to push myself in certain lengths, making more efforts to get myself out there. I know, as I said in my first video, it was like I started off with doing podcasts. I was on YouTube for the pandemic a little bit, but I redid like this whole YouTube page to really show my journey to getting my cosmetology license. But I want to go into first what I've been dealing with, and then I'm going to show you what I've been doing in class so far, so you can really see how either I improved or some areas I need to improve in. So the biggest thing I want to go into is how important mental health is, and how important being real with yourself and being real with your emotions, because I feel like I realize a lot of people that I talk to suppress their emotions. They don't talk about how they feel. They don't know how to deal with those personal feelings of you feel overwhelmed or you feel unseen. And I feel like a lot of times when we feel overwhelmed or we feel unseen is because we're not saying the things that we need to say, and we're not showing up for ourselves the way that we need to show up. So I dedicate this part of my life to showing up for myself, speaking up when I feel uncomfortable. Even if I feel uncomfortable, I'm still going to speak up. I'm still going to say what I need to say in order to set the tone. And a lot of times, you know, we go through certain things in our lives that create trauma for us. And trauma is stored in the body, and it really sometimes hinders us from going for things that we want to do in life. So I live life no fear. Like, I go for things and I push myself. Each year is a goal for me to go higher and higher until I feel like even when I reach that, I don't feel like it's a never ending cycle of reaching something, because even when you get to what you consider the top for your goals, I feel like you should still keep striving to go after whatever and don't get too comfortable. So mental health is important. I definitely deal with anxiety. My anxiety has ran its course. Like, it has gotten worse than ever. And I feel like my anxiety is definitely like stemmed from the death of my grandmother. Has been a big part. That's when I first started to notice it the most. And I would have issues with going to sleep at night. I would have issues with just feeling safe. And it kind of simmered down a little bit. And then I feel like my anxiety really picked up this year, definitely because I had like an incident where I almost got carjacked, and it was hard for me to really feel safe outside again. And what I notice is, like, I do put a lot on my plate. Like, I do a lot. I work at a school. I work in certain clubs. Like, I overextend myself. And that's why I'm telling you to don't put too much on your plate where you feel like you're smothering yourself. Like, you don't have time for yourself. Like, you don't have time to breathe. You don't have time to sleep or just rest. Like, you're always on the go. You're not a machine. And stop treating yourself like a machine, and definitely nurture and take care of yourself. Even in the field that I'm going into, a lot of times we don't have time for ourselves because we got clients and we're backed or we're booked and busy, and we're like, go, 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 go. But I really want to touch base on mental health, because maybe what I'm sharing right now could help someone out, and they could reach out and just, I would say, meditate, journal. I do poetry, listening to certain songs, even certain exercises that help me with anxiety, and just remembering that it may look bad right now, but it eventually mellows itself out eventually. So don't let just one thing steer you away. And then also, stop being so hard on yourself. Like, a lot of times we as students, we want to be this expert, but we realize that we are at the rookie level. We are at the beginner level, and perfection takes practice and time. And you have to stop being so hard on yourself all the time. And that's one thing that I told myself, girl, stop always trying to strive to be the best at something that you just learned 2 seconds ago. Like, I'm very hard on myself with that. So just be kind to yourself. So I definitely feel like I would recommend for anxiety, or if you just need to mellow out on the stress, being a nighttime student and working gets kind of stressful, and I understand that, but I would recommend these pills, and they are gummies. They taste amazing. I love them. And usually I'm not a pill type of person. They're just gummies. You take 2 gummies twice a day. They're like this. This is kind of stuck together, but they're like this. And they have really been a big help to me. And that's why I said always take care of yourself. A lot of people don't talk about mental health because that's like a taboo subject, but always take care of yourself. And when you feel like something is too much, eliminate it or find a way to rework your schedule where you have time to really focus in on yourself. So I wanted to share a couple of my tips for makeup, hair, whatever. Right now, my hair is in a resting period and I'm letting it just chill out. So when my hair is in a resting period, and this is what I've been using, it is Botana oil. It's 100% raw and natural. It makes my hair feel amazing. I actually make my own hair care stuff a lot of times. I use the rosemary water that I boil, and I make it from fresh herbs, and I put it in my hair and I rinse it out. And I do that like once a month. And my hair, I braid it down and I rest it, but I definitely put this oil in. It helps me a lot secure my moisture. I'm actually redefining my curls right now with my natural curl pattern. I have a no heat policy right now where I'm not putting heat on my hair right now. I'm trying to help it grow, and in that process of helping it grow, I do take liquid chlorophyll, which is amazing for the skin and the hair, and it really, I see a difference for me, like drinking chlorophyll. It definitely helps. And I cut dark sodas out of my diet completely. There's no dark sodas. Occasionally I'll have a ginger ale once in the blue moon, but it's not like how I used to like drink. Like, I know Pepsi can be good, but it's not really good for your skin. I also take these hair, skin, and nails vitamins. It's also gummies. I do not like pills. I hate swallowing pills. And it's always good to take vitamins, especially also vitamins are good for your mental health as well. I'm a person that deals with like low iron, so that helps. So I feel like I have my own signature way of how I do my skincare or how I take care of myself, because I always dress, and I go out and I dress and make sure that I feel good, because when I look good, I feel good. And I feel like looking good and feeling good is definitely the goal for anyone, but you should put some type of love into the way that you look or your appearance. I'm over here playing with my bangs because I ain't never liked bangs like that. But the bangs is eating a little bit. Okay. Always take credit for just the way you look. I'm really big on promoting body positivity. Just loving on yourself even when you feel like the world is on your shoulders. And definitely, I'm not a person that likes to share all my goals. It's just an energy thing of I don't tell everybody my next move is. But I feel like where I'm standing and which direction I will go in, skincare and makeup are my loves. I love I love the idea of makeup. I love the way that you could just, it's like painting on someone's face. Is like painting like a canvas, like an art canvas, where you're controlling, how, as you see my eyes, like how my lashes, my almond shaped eyes, the big eyes, how it frames your face, and how you see like my highlighter in the creases of my eyes. That's like a signature look. And I feel like when I really started playing with makeup, I found my signature, what looks good on me, what pops on me. And I love helping other women feel that way about themselves. Like, oh my God, I feel gorgeous. I stick out. I love the way I look. And a long time it took me when I was younger, I didn't really like the way I look. And because I feel like my features were different from a lot of people. Like, I have like the flat face, and my features are more so different from my peers. I had like more, I would say, people used to ask me like, what are you? Are you what are you mixed with? Blah, blah, blah. So I always felt like I just didn't like my look. But as I got older, I embraced like my face, learned the face shapes, learning what works for me, the hairstyles. I embraced the way I look. And that's what I want every little girl or woman to feel that comes to me, that I did a great job on not enhancing their beauty, but showing them that the beauty was always there. So my main goal is to definitely strengthen. I don't want to focus on what I can't do. Like we always say, well, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do this. It's not about what I can't do. I'm focused on what I can do. And what I can do is I can sell a look. I look good. I'm pretty as hell. I'm knowledge. I got the knowledge behind me. I know I have the power to shift the room, because when I walk in the room, eyes are on me. And I have that confidence to be like, I don't have to be the loudest in the room, but when I walk in that room, you're going to hear me. And that's how you know you're resting in your true power, when you don't have to shout across a room or make a whole bunch of noise, because you know that your silence or just your presence alone has people shook. And that's where, when I was younger, I was always loud and da da da, blah 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 blah. But as I learned, it's like the older I got, the more private I got, I realized I don't need to do too much to get noticed. And that's a skill that a lot of people struggle with. But eventually you realize sometimes all you need to do is show up, and that's enough. And the real understand what I'm saying. So the goal right now is just to not worry about what I can't do. And I'm going to stop saying I can't. And just amplify what I can do. And show you like, hey, you know, I may struggle in this area, but I'm learning how to do this. I feel like cosmetology has so many different lanes in it where you could do anything. Everybody, and I feel like that's the difference between a person who is just trying to appease, like they're trying to just get hype off of something, compared to a person who's really just doing it for the passion and the love of just doing it. People put themselves in boxes. I'm not a person. I don't live inside of a box. I don't just say, oh, I just color here, or I just cut here, I just do this. No. The way I see it is, I'm really focused on the health of the hair, the health of the skin, whatever I choose to do, the health of the nails. And I'm all into the science of looking into what are ways that we can prevent certain things from happening, like with the hair loss, with preserving the hair. Adding too much glue to the hair pulls the hair out. How could we protect the hair? Because I feel like a lot of people care about the style, but they don't care about the health of the hair. And then you're wondering why your hair is falling out. Bringing more care into the whole process, making sure that you're sanitizing properly, making sure that you even care about your customers, learning your customers. And I feel like that's where I'm gearing towards more, is understanding how we can prevent certain things and amplifying it. Like, I'm definitely into the Korean skincare. I feel like they have amazing products. The products are raw, natural, and the skincare products in Korea are way more raw and natural and don't have that many preservatives as the skincare products in America do. And we're going into like why I feel like a lot of times we have skincare problems is because a lot of the food has a lot of chemicals in it. A lot of times we're not washing our bed sheets. We're not taking care of ourselves in certain ways, and it shows. So geared towards where my flow would be is just preserving the natural way of how our hair or our skin or our nails should be. So I really want to look more into more healthier ways where we can get our nails done, where we're not adding so much chemicals, or even with growing our natural nails out. a better way we could handle certain things. And I know a lot of times with our hair, it's like we're having these styles that are ripping our natural hair out. And I don't want to be that type of stylist that just doesn't care about the hair underneath or cares about the client. And I'm just taking your money, but I'm not really understanding the science behind it and what I'm doing. Like, and I feel like a lot of people, they're like, okay, whatever, I just want, but you gotta understand why you're doing. Like, I'm the type of person, I need to know why this is happening. Like, I'm looking like, well, why is your hair falling out? Like, and come to find out, her hair's falling out because she's putting glue on her hair, her actual hair, like her edges and all that, and it's falling out. Like, I feel like there is a flaw, in the business when it comes to, you don't care about the health of the hair, but you care about the style. So what are you going to style when the client's hair keeps falling out and she has no hair left to like, that's backwards. And I feel like the whole viewpoint is I care about the health of the hair. You should be able to know your client. You should always do consultations for your client. Make sure that you're really looking in the hair, testing it out, making sure that whatever service, especially if it's like a chemical service that you're performing, that the hair is healthy enough to get that service done. And then also, I feel like we need to really look into, being more of strength for each other. And I know, yes, it's very competitive and people want to be the best. I understand. But there's always lanes people could be the best in. Like, you're trying to outshine this person, you just need to focus on yourself. And I hear people say, oh, that person's overhyped. Or that person, I don't know why that person got buzzed. He's not even, or she's not even like that, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like it's more so envy because you feel like you're not in that position. You're like, well, hey, I'm great, so why am I not getting that? And I feel like success is just for people who worked hard. People worked hard for that success. People worked hard for that recognition. Sometimes people do get opportunities out of luck because it's who they're connected to and that can shine. They share their spotlight on others, And I feel like the process of being successful is you have to have real determination to lock your mind in. Like, when I go into school, I'm on game mode. Like, I'm locked in and I'm focused on that task. And it's not to say, I don't care about people. But my main goal is, I'm not saying making friends at school is a bad thing. And it's no issue with that. But I'm here because I really have a goal. And when I'm focused, and I don't want nothing to take me off that point. So I'm locked in, I'm on goal mode. I have certain goals I have aligned for myself on. Definitely, like, what I want to do is I need to get more content out. Content. I have lookbooks. I'm setting up certain things in place where I know getting out my comfort zone is going to make me become a better stylist or even potentially whatever I want to do. Because I see the power that I have. Like, I notice it every day. Like, when I go into work, these little girls, they look up to me. They see me as, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so, And a lot of times people don't realize what I had to do to get right here where I'm talking, on this video right now. The mindset I had to put myself in. Because I understand, I was a little girl. I was getting into fights. I was getting into trouble. I was running the streets, hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I had to pull myself in. I didn't have someone like me right now, like how I am to the little girls. No one was like me telling them, hey, It's a better way on how to handle yourself. And I feel like a lot of times is our anger is what fucks us up, because anger comes from not being heard. And that's why I'm with my kids, where I tell my kids, just tell me, what did I do that upsets you? Like, let's have this conversation, because I realized that a lot of times my anger came from not being heard, or not being respected, or not feeling loved, or feeling invisible. So I feel like what I'm doing right now when it comes to like being in cosmetology school and understanding that how I can connect everything that I do together. So, really working with the youth, understanding, I'm big on self-esteem, especially for little girls, teaching how to love yourself, how to respect yourself, how to be a big advocate for yourself. That all ties in together of everything that I'm doing. So when I say you have to be your biggest supporter sometimes, you have to keep going. Outside validation does not matter. And I said this, and this is real big. I said, I'm the type of person, my love is not conditional. Meaning, my love is not at a convenience. My love for a person or whatever is not just when they're doing good things for me. My love is unconditional, where my love is always overflowing for something. My love is one of a kind. And you have to have that love for yourself. You have to love yourself no matter if you're doing good, bad, or whatever. You have to love yourself through those cycles of life. And you have to continue to push yourself and love yourself. So when I'm talking about that angry, teenager, and, people can't separate who I am today from what they thought I was going to be. And I feel like that's why it's good to separate yourself from people who watched you grow up, because a lot of times they want to keep you in that box. They don't want to see you for who you evolved into. So it's important to be surrounded by people who are willing to be okay with your growth and comfortable with your growth, because sometimes growth makes people uncomfortable. And a lot of times we are a product of our environments, and unfortunately some people fall into that trap. But I'm a person that I can say I did not fall into what society wanted me to be, and I'm proud of myself. And that's why I want to be that woman to little girls coming up and show them like, yo, it's a better way to handle yourself. It's a better way that you can handle conflict. You don't have to fight. You don't have to curse people out all the time. That is not normal. A way to handle conflict is not always to put your hands on someone. And I feel like a lot of times when you think about people who act like that, when a toddler doesn't get their way, they hit, they scream, they cry. So think about adults who don't have the proper self-control or emotional intellect to handle conflict. And that's what I'm trying to advocate to people, to understand that we don't have the tools a lot of times. And sometimes we learn as we go. And I feel like being in the cosmetology field, they always say that you have to have thick skin with certain things and understand that you can't take what people do always to heart. Like, don't take it to heart or don't take offense to it, because a lot of times people are just going throughout their day and they're projecting their insecurities, their feelings, they're going through stuff, and people don't know how to deal with them, deal with their inner conflict, so they take it out on other people surrounding you. So definitely remember to always be your biggest advocate. And that's definitely what I'm preaching. But that's why I said, like, this page is not just me just talking about, I know some people are like, well, we want to see you doing hair, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you are seeing that, but you're also seeing my journey. This is my personal journey to cosmetology. So you're going to see me talking on my couch. You're going to see me doing things. But this is my journey. And you're going to see all of me. So this is me being vulnerable. This is me coming out and letting you into my world and my life. So, thank you. It's a better way to handle yourself. It's a better way that you can handle conflict. You don't have to fight. You don't have to curse people out all the time. That is not normal. A way to handle conflict is not always to put your hands on someone. And I feel like a lot of times when you think about people who act like that, when a toddler doesn't get their way, they hit, they scream, they cry. So think about adults who don't have the proper self-control or emotional intellect to handle conflict. And that's what I'm trying to advocate to people, to understand that we don't have the tools a lot of times. And sometimes we learn as we go. And I feel like being in the cosmetology field, they always say that you have to have thick skin with certain things and understand that you can't take what people do always to heart. Like, don't take it to heart or don't take offense to it, because a lot of times people are just going throughout their day and they're projecting their insecurities, their feelings, they're going through stuff, and people don't know how to deal with them, deal with their inner conflict, so they take it out on other people surrounding you. So definitely remember to always be your biggest advocate. And that's definitely what I'm preaching. But that's why I said, like, this page is not just me just talking about, I know some people are like, well, we want to see you doing hair, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you are seeing that, but you're also seeing my journey. This is my personal journey to cosmetology. So you're going to see me talking on my couch. You're going to see me doing things. But this is my journey. And you're going to see all of me. So this is me being vulnerable. This is me coming out and letting you into my world and my life. So thank you.
Inches. But you're going to establish your guide. Okay? So when you establish your guide up. I'm not going to cut her because she already cut. So you're going to establish your guide and you're going to hold it straight and you're going to cut it on a diagonal. See my shears? They're not like this. They're like this. Okay? So you're going to start with one quad. And you're going to take the 2 inches off on a diagonal. See that? So now, what you're going to do is, you're going to take, you see your front in this short piece need to connect on a diagonal. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to, after you cut your guide, you're going to take some of the hair you cut, some of the new hair, you're going to over direct it, and you're going to let it fall out like the raisin for your guide. So once it starts falling out, then you're going to carve or slither. More of slither is up here. Just like this here. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do is, we're going to do the same thing. We're doing a 0. So this is something, y'all, this is your first haircut. Only thing, you just use a different tool. So where we going to start? In the middle. So I'm going to take off about an inch. So remember, when we cut with a razor, it's on top of the fingers. It's not under, because you're not really going to get no cut. It's no tension. All right, so on top of the fingers, okay, and we could do little soft, little short strokes, okay? Now,
So you want us to cut?
Thing that is not for you does not have to be a loss. You have to see the bigger picture. You understand? Some people do not deserve your divine, your divineness. Like you are aligned with the higher spirit. You are aligned in different ways and on this earth, and you don't deserve nobody. Fuck the flesh. A motherfucker can look good all day. What the fuck is on the inside? What's on the inside? You just beautiful. You ain't got nothing else going for yourself. You just a nice looking person. Fuck that.